the facts and spicy side.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Finally, guys, we made it. It's Friday. I'm Monique Tuzon.
I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
And I'm Chal Lontoc. Join us in the next hour and a half for the news and stories that matter to you.
We had the shock of our lives
Oh my gosh.
just before we went on air because the Philippines did not win.
No, we got third. We got third.
We got
Congratulations.
third.
It's still a win.
We're proud,
It's still a
but
win.
still, I wanted her to win.
Yeah, we were gunning for the fifth
We
Miss
had the
Universe
shot,
crown,
yeah.
but it's Miss Mexico, who is the
Congrats,
new
yeah.
Miss Universe.
Can I just say, I learned a phrase here in the Philippines when they're protesting. They're making makibaka. So I wore this outfit. I look like a baka. We're gonna make makibaka because the Philippines did not win.
You know, we were also eyeing on Cote d'Ivoire or
Cote d'Ivoire.
Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
her answers were really great and she carried herself very well. So, but still,
She was
congratulations to all
she was
of
our
them.
second favorite.
our
Of course,
second
we're
favorite.
rooting for Atisa
Philippines,
Manalo.
but
But Miss Ivory Coast did so well, especially in the
answer.
question and answer.
Yeah.
You know,
portion.
another milestone for this Miss Universe is that for the first time, Miss Palestine joined
Yes.
ever. First time ever. And she
First
got in
time.
top 30, so kudos as well to Miss
But can
Palestine.
we talk about Atisa's dress?
Okay.
It was stunning.
We actually saw online that some people were saying that the actual inspiration was a jellyfish. Now, I don't know if this is confirmed, but
That
please
explains
let us
it.
know. Yeah, let us
Beautiful,
know.
the way she walked and then how it flowed. So
How she
we are
carried
so proud
herself.
of you.
Serving
Yeah.
looks all throughout the competition.
And we're going
right?
to talk to a pageant analyst actually later
Yeah,
on, Mai, and let's talk about what went wrong, what she did well. So I'm excited to talk
Yeah.
about that.
And speaking of making the country proud, a Filipino-owned restaurant
Yes.
earned 2 stars,
Yeah.
2 Michelin stars
Kasama
in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
I still haven't been, but guys, we have to go. We have to trip to Chicago.
Kasama is led by a husband and wife tandem, and they actually earned their first star a few years ago, and now it's been elevated to 2 stars.
And I just
so
love it how the
proud.
Philippines is actually making waves through and through, whether in food, in fashion, and even, of course, with Miss Universe.
We're
That's
literally
true.
killing it. So I'm so excited.
Okay,
But
we
also,
have exciting guests today.
We have a
for
jam-packed
today,
show.
our guest is Doc Deano Reyes. Of course, we're going to be talking about peptides,
Yes.
health, sex education as well. You don't want to miss that. And we will also be having Queen Kim King, who's known for
Broth
her
queen.
bone broth and, of course,
Yes.
wellness advocate as well.
So
She
Wellness
has
Friday.
been helping the stars meet their or reach their fitness goals.
But also
Yeah.
talking about proper nutrition,
Yeah.
which is very important nowadays. Oh my gosh, what a day, what a Friday.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still
It's
stuck
a
with Miss
Wellness
Universe,
Friday, but yeah, we are shocked still.
She
We're
comes
still
up
here.
with healthy meals, a meal plan, and also like a curated health and wellness
And I'm
program.
actually super interested. I've been hearing about bone broth diet. So I want to talk to Kim King about that because I want to try that. And I want to know the benefits and if I'm actually eligible because some people may not be.
yeah.
Mine would be
That's why she's
peptides.
here.
That's why I'm here.
All right, so those stories and more are coming up. But first, the headlines.
This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
In today's headlines, the plot thickens. Former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico could face more serious charges of plunder over their alleged involvement in the flood control scandal. Meanwhile, the ombudsman gets to work after plunder charges were recommended against Romualdez and Zaldico. Salamat sa laban, Atisa. The Philippines' Bet Atisa Manalo settles for third runner-up, while Miss Mexico rules supreme in the Miss Universe pageant in Thailand. And it's all about health and wellness this Friday. Catch our conversation with sexual health expert Deano Reyes and nutrition expert Kim King. That's live later in the show. Our top story, former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Ako Bicol Representative Zaldico could face serious charges as serious as plunder over the flood control scandal. Joan Manalo now joins us live. Joan, what can you tell us about this story?
The Department of Public Works and Highways and the Independent Commission for Infrastructure have recommended the filing of charges against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldi Co. Among the recommended charges were plunder, graft, and direct bribery. That is according to DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. The DPWH and the ICI appeared before the Ombudsman at around 8 a.m. today, submitting government contracts of companies allegedly linked to Co., namely SunWest Incorporated and High Tone Construction. The contracts amounting to 100 billion pesos were recorded from 2016 to 2025. This means that these projects were implemented during the term of former House Speaker Romualdez, thus his inclusion in the recommendation to file charges. The two agencies also submitted sworn testimonies from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, all related to both the former House Speaker and the former House Appropriations Chair. Dizon also specifically cited the sworn testimony of Orly Guteza, Co's alleged former security aide, amid being proven in court that his testimony was falsified. Guteza previously testified in a Senate hearing that he delivered suitcases of money to the homes of Co and Romualdez. Dizon said they are now leaving these recommendations to the Ombudsman for further investigation and the possible filing of cases before the Sandigan Bayan. Meanwhile, ICI Commissioner Babe Singson also gave updates on the progress of its investigation.
We're expecting additional documents coming from the joint AFP-PNP ground troops who are on the ground. 64 of them have been mobilized nationwide to focus on anomalous and especially the ghost projects and the projects that have been undertaken by the notorious contractors mentioned by the President. So, inaasahan namin either this weekend or next week, dadagsa po yan.
He adds that as many as 1,200 individuals may be involved in the alleged anomalous flood control projects nationwide. This marks the sixth set of recommendations submitted by the ICI to the Ombudsman, and all of these are related to anomalies and flood control projects. Mai.
Joan, we also noticed that the DPWH and the ICI did not include malversation in the recommended charges against Zaldico and former Speaker Romualdez. Did they explain why?
Yes, Mai, according to DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, they are leaving it to the Ombudsman to determine whether charges of malversation may also be filed against Co and Romualdez, depending, of course, on the Ombudsman's own investigation and examination of the documents they submitted. Mai.
Thank you for that report. Joan Manalo, live from Quezon City. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos commented on his cousin, former Speaker Martin Romualdez, as the case against him moves forward. Ivy Reyes joins us live. Ivy, what did the president say?
Hours before the Independent Commission for Infrastructure and the Public Works Department took to the Ombudsman its case against former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, the president himself announced the probable raps his cousin may face.
Kaya ngayon ay nais kong ipalaman sa ating mga kababayan na ang ICI at saka ang DPWH ay lahat ng nakuha nila na impormasyon ay ire-refer, ibibigay na sa Ombudsman para imbestigahan ng Ombudsman. Ito ay tungkol sa mga impormasyon ng dating Speaker Martin Romualdez at saka ni Zaldico.
According to the president, Bongbong Marcos, the ex-speaker and resigned Congressman Zaldi Co may face plunder and bribery charges should evidence point to their accountability. Marcos vowed that the administration's investigations will follow the trail of evidence, following his earlier promise to jail plunderers before Christmas. This is the latest pronouncement from the president as his administration faces the biggest anomaly of budget in the country. And for now, we have Romualdez and Co as the biggest names on the list of the ombudsman. Mai.
Ivy, amid the growing political turmoil, how's the president and what do we expect from the palace later today?
The president will be in Cebu this afternoon to attend the launching of the Oplan Kontra Baha. If you can remember, he launched it here in Metro Manila, but they're expanding it in Visayas and in Cebu. So he's going to be there. But for now, what we're looking at is if there will be possible names, additional names in the list of the cabinet shakeup that we witnessed in the previous days. Mai.
Thank you, Ivy Reyes, live from Malacanang. The August 21 movement is skeptical of President Marcos's pronouncements on his cousin, former Speaker Martin Romualdez. In a video message released Friday, Marcos floated the possibility that plunder and graft charges may be filed against Romualdez and Zaldi Co. Speaking on BNC's At the Forefront, the movement's president Voltaire Bohol says PBBM may do what his late father did to his chief of staff, General Fabian Ver.
Going back to Speaker Romualdez, if you go back to our history, his father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., during the post-Ninoy assassination, allowed the indictment of General Ver when they were being implicated as the masterminds of Ninoy's assassination. So the context is eventually General Ver was, the case was dismissed. This is almost similar to that because you have to remember that General Ver was a loyal, a friend even to the former dictator.
The Ombudsman is reviewing charges against former Congressman Zaldi Co and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez in connection with alleged budget irregularities. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla assures the public that investigations will follow the evidence and the law. Let's go live to Hannah T from the Senate. Hi, Hannah. What do you have for us?
The Ombudsman is now set to look at the content of the recommendation of filing of charges against Zaldi Co and former Speaker Martin Romualdez so they know how to act on the matter. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla maintains they will continue to follow evidence. This after the DPWH and the ICI recommended the filing of plunder and other charges against Co and Romualdez. Regarding the timeline, Mai Remulla says they will evaluate first and do fact-finding if they can subject it to preliminary investigation. It may take a few days to a few months, according to Remulla, depending on the number of evidence. Co became House Appropriations Committee Chair under Romualdez's term as former House Speaker. They were implicated in the flood control scandal after issues on budget insertions surfaced when they allegedly received kickbacks. The Senate also just wrapped up a heated budget plenary debate on the Office of the Ombudsman, and Senator Rodante Marcoleta pressed hard on questions of legality, procedure, and whether the Ombudsman may be bending the law. The exchange began when Senator Marcoleta raised concerns about statements made by the Ombudsman's office in previous hearings, including the possibility of restitution being required for witness protection, even though it does not appear anywhere in the law. Marcoleta said the law cannot be banned and warned against any government official putting requirements that do not exist in statute. The Ombudsman, however, stood firm, and he said he's strictly against bending the law and that he will abide by Supreme Court decisions and that the rule of law will guide his entire tenure. At one point, Marcoleta asked whether the Ombudsman could make a clarification or apologize on the Senate floor. He made a motion to suspend the rules to allow him to speak, but it it was denied, saying the chamber very rarely entertains such motions. Marcoleta also reminded the ombudsman regarding making a public announcement of issuance of warrants of arrest, as announcing a timeline could preempt or influence the judiciary, calling it a dangerous proposition. The ombudsman responded that the timeline was indicative only, not a guarantee, and was shared for the purpose of public information, but that the judgment remains with the courts. Moving forward, the ombudsman intends to be more careful in announcing timelines. Back to you, Mai.
Yes, Hannah, speaking of timelines, how is the Office of the Ombudsman aligning with the President's pronouncements na walang Merry Christmas doon sa mga involved dito sa corruption scandal?
May continuously tila minemaintain ni Ombudsman Remulla yung stand niya na by Christmas meron talagang makukulong dahil sa daming araw ng mga posibleng masampahan ng kaso ay hindi malabo na matuloy nga itong walang masayang Pasko para dun sa mga sangkot sa flood control scandal. Pero when it comes to announcing the timelines, yun nga dahil kanina ay tila na-call out siya ni Marcoleta dahil posible raw ma-preempt or ma-influence yung decisions ng courts moving forward, ay dapat mas maging careful itong si Remulla. Pero when it comes to Christmas, no, sinabi niya na posible pa rin itong mangyari. Back to you, Mai.
All right, thank you, Hannah T, reporting live from the Senate. At the Peninsula Manila, the Strat-based Pilipinas Conference 2025 continues, and today, government officials and foreign ambassadors are exploring how strategic investments in infrastructure can stimulate economic growth, enhance connectivity, and create new opportunities across the country. Let's go live to Pierre Pastor in Makati for more. Hi, Pierre, go ahead.
Hi, Mai. Still here at the Peninsula Manila for the Strat-based Pilipinas Conference 2025. Yesterday's topic was cyber resilience with the ambassadors to the Philippines. Today, secretaries came. So more with the ambassadors from Denmark, Norway, Italy, and Singapore. The first one to speak is DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. Part of the panel were Edgar Chua, Chairman of the Makati Business Club, and Mr. George Barcelon, Chairman of the PCCI. The session tackled how strategic investments in critical structure can drive long-term economic development and generate multiplier effect, creating jobs, boosting local industries across the country. Public-private partnership, along with projects such as the Luzon Economic Corridor, provide the Philippines with the momentum to deliver high-impact infrastructure that enhances connectivity, facilitates trade, and stimulate economic activities. These efforts must be aligned with the national security priorities and guided with transparency and accountability to ensure effective project delivery. Meanwhile, Secretary Dizon's speech in his speech, he mentioned the country is in an unprecedented situation right now. He sees that definitely something is going to change. He says he can tell with confidence not only through the works of the DPWH, but with what President Bongbong Marcos is trying to do. He relayed a message from the president in the light of the recent corruption chaos, ensuring that people will be held accountable no matter how close they are to him. He also shared that early this morning, the DPWH and ICI has already recommended charges against former Congressman Saldico and former Speaker Martin Romualdez, and these are based on evidences, not just videos. Also, the first warrants of arrest will be issued in a few days, he said. Due to a very, very tight schedule, the new ombudsman, Boying Remulla, who is supposed to be part of the morning session, will come in later. So we will have more of this later, and we will give you an update later, Mai.
Pierre, what was the reaction of the panelists from the business group to the statements of Secretary Dizon?
Well, they say that it's a good start, but there is more to come. There's more to see, because the problem is not just DPWH. It is the system that has to change. Mai.
Thank you, Pierre Pastor, live from Makati City. Meanwhile, all eyes are on this year's Miss Universe pageant. Atisa Manalo fought a good fight as she settles for third runner-up, while Mexico's Fatima Bosch is crowned the new Miss Universe. Helping us break this down via Zoom from Bangkok, Thailand is pageant analyst Adam Henato. Hi Adam, how are you?
Hello! All the way here from Bangkok, Thailand. Masaya po kami mga Pilipino na umabot tayo sa top 5 ng Miss Universe this year. My God!
It was really a good fight. So tell us first, what did you think about Atisa's performance? How did she do?
I'm sorry.
How did Atisa fare overall?
She performed flawlessly from start to finish. The moment she got called in the top 30, her face was already glowing and it extended all the way to the swimsuit competition. Sabi nga ni Dayanara sa commentary niya kanina, she really knew where to look at the cameras to utilize her face card because ang bentahe talaga ni Atisa, face card talaga. Face card never declines. And when she finally got called in the top 12, wow, that gown she wore by Valta Guba was a complete game changer. She literally stood out, floated like a jellyfish on stage. Oh my God.
That is really true. Yeah, you know what? We were actually all expecting her to bag the crown this time around. But also, what was your reaction about Miss Mexico, Fatima Bosch, winning this year's pageant?
We're just as shocked as you guys over there back home. Like, honestly, to be honest with you, we thought they announced the results in reverse order. I have to be frank with you. I was hoping for a Steve Harvey moment talaga. Pero someone would come up at the last minute to overturn the results. But I guess, you know, just like in any contest, we have to respect the judges' decision. The judges have clearly spoken and they chose Miss Mexico to win this year. So, congratulations to her. I mean, she fought fair and square.
Yeah,
I mean, we couldn't argue with the result. The judges have spoken. Pero in our heart of hearts, we really knew Atisa should have made it all the way till the very end.
We totally understand your reaction, Adam. Of course, talking about Miss Mexico, she was in the headlines after that issue with the Thai organizers, right? So did you think this influenced the public's perception of her at all? Because this is what netizens are saying. All over social media, maybe they're saying this was a way for the organizers to say sorry or making bawi.
Ma'am, sorry, medyo maingay lang mo dito sa background ko. Can you repeat the question
Yes,
po?
I understand that about Miss Mexico. She was in the headlines after that issue with the Thai organizers. So the netizens are saying this maybe somehow influenced the decision of the Miss Universe giving her the crown. Was this a way, do you think, of them making bawi or saying sorry for that whole controversy?
Well, you can think like, people can think like that. People can say it's a strategy, but at the end of the day, you can say, but at the end of the day, yung ginawa niyang yun has nothing to do with the merits of the competition here. Like, the basis for the judges here to evaluate Miss Mexico just is how they evaluated the girls in the top 30. From intro, the preliminary closed-door interview, the swimsuit competition, they probably must have seen something special in Mexico for them to award the title this year.
Right.
Again, guys, we can all speculate, but at the end of the day, Miss Mexico won the crown. So let's wag na tayong dumagdag sa kuro-kuro. I mean, let's be magnanimous with this decision by the judges. I mean, let's be happy for Atisa. I know it's really heartbreaking. Now we're almost at the cost of glory, winning our 5th Miss Universe crown for our country. Pero I guess hindi talaga fate ni Atisa manalo despite how she gave her very best. I mean, I haven't talked about her Q&A.
Yes, I was going to ask
Answers.
about the Q&A, Adam, because she talked about her advocacy in that final Q&A.
Yes.
She talked about
Yes.
Alon Academy and the Q&A for the top 5, where she spoke about symbolizing hope.
Yes, she made a story out of her advocacy from Alon Academia. Alam mo yon, pag pinakinggan, kasi tinanong siya, how would you empower the girls? The girls. Pero her answer was very universal. She not only included the young girls looking up to her, but also everyone who's experiencing hardships in life, in her country. So nakita mo, may tangible solution, may storyline, may build up yung answer ni Atisa. That's why she easily connected to the whole audience. And so when she was declared third runner-up, people were kind of disappointed. Were really disappointed.
Okay, throughout the competition, of course, there were the prelims, the interviews prior to the pageant itself, the swimsuit competition. Were there any moments where Atisa really stood out for you?
No doubt, she really shone during the preliminary competition. Can you focus the camera on me? She really shone during the preliminary competition. She really shone. I mean, that gown she wore by Mac Tumang during the preliminary competition was really a game changer as well.
And the gown itself had a story, right? The gown. Tell us about that.
Yes, and even the way how she looked, her aesthetic during the swimsuit competition, wow, ang ganda. Talagang she really delivered when it mattered the most. She had an incredible hair and makeup styling. She knew how to please the audience by tweaking her pasarela. That was really her moment to shine. This is really Atisa, with everything that I said, this is by far, Atisa is the best candidate we have sent since Catriona Gray talaga. In terms of commercial viability, marketability through her popularity. Sayang lang talaga, hindi na ibigay sa atin, pero kung talagang merit, objectivity talaga, dapat nandun siya sa huli. Yeah. So, but then again, we have to respect our judges, the judges' decision.
Yeah, she was really serving looks throughout the competition, and we almost had it. But anyway, thank you.
And I also have to take note, ma'am. This is her strategy. Her journey is really one for the books because we all know Miss Universe is all about rampahan, maganda, talagang pakabugan, talagang papansin. Pero Atisa stuck to her core of being very calm and steady.
Yeah.
While the other girls were always showy and flashy through their outfits, through their pasabog photo shoots left and right, she stuck to her core
correct.
of being calm and steady and just delivered in the nick of time when it matters the most, which is her preliminary performances. I couldn't be more proud of Atisa at the moment. Ang sarap pong ipaglaban ni Atisa, ma'am. Grabe.
Yes, that's true. And regardless, I know there's a big and warm homecoming awaiting her. Thank you so much for joining us, pageant analyst Adam Henato.
Thank you for having me.
And coming up, a meaningful, judgment-free conversation with Dr. Deano Reyes about sexual wellness and care in today's world. Join us after this short break. The Daily Dish will be right back.
This is my daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish. Dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Health isn't just about what you eat or how much you exercise. It also includes understanding your body, your sexual wellness, and the care that's available to you.
Exactly. And today we have Dr. Deano Reyes, one of the leading voices in LGBTQ plus and sexual health in the Philippines, to help us navigate these important topics. Doc Deano, thank you for coming.
Hey, nice to be back.
Excited to talk about all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe I'll start off with, how do I say this? It's quite unique, no?
Yeah.
The focus that you have
Yeah.
for sexual education, and
Yeah.
your clinic actually caters also to LGBTQ specifically.
Yeah.
Tell us how you came about
How
this.
yeah, of course. So I think the story of like my clinic and my practice is a very personal one, and to be a very sex positive doctor, I need to be able to talk about those things. And I always say, why did I get into this field? Is because I had my own concerns back then. I had my own personal HIV scare when I was 22 years old. So I was scared about it. I was terrified.
wow.
It drove me crazy. And actually, after I put it at the back of my head, didn't really think about it throughout the rest of med school. Luckily, I graduated into the pandemic, so my initial plans of going down conventional doctor routes did not happen, and I found sexual health again, and I said, hey, I think this could really be improved in the Philippines. I went back to my experience where I didn't have the best one, and I said there has to be a way to make sure everybody gets like a safe, judgment-free experience. So that was the brainchild on how my team and I really work to create a space that sexual health is just approached like without any judgment. Because to be fair, to be honest, everybody has sex. All of us came because our parents had sex to create us. So it really is a very vital human need that we shouldn't be ashamed of. And
Well
unfortunately,
said.
the country is a little bit conservative, but hopefully this is a good step forward to make it just more comfortable for everyone.
And like you mentioned, it's very taboo here, right,
Yeah.
in the Philippines, because we're very conservative.
Yeah.
When you started your clinic, have you seen a jump in patients, and especially patients coming to you saying like, wow, doc, you're the first one that I can finally talk to about this, because they don't really talk about it in school. I feel like there's a lack of sexual education as well
Oh, yeah.
here in school.
Oh yeah, definitely. Opening the clinic was a bit of a risk, right? Because we kind of really thought that there's no framework for this. It's kind of never been done in the Philippines. Would it even be like a smart thing to do? Would Filipinos cater it? But it was a risk, and we just said, let's do it, let's try. Initially, we just tried to make it a bit more focused on the LGBTQ, having judgment-free spaces for gay guys, lesbians, transgender individuals, and then with that, because it's sexual orientation, we talked about sex a lot. But in the same vein, when we do the testing for HIV, STIs, all of those things, we started getting a lot of straight people or heterosexual people also coming into the clinic saying, hey, we also don't have a place to get this kind of healthcare, because it's always so nakakahiya to go to your GP or to your usual doctor. Some of them, their main doctor is the doctor when they were still a kid.
Right.
So all
Or
of
family
those,
doctor
yeah, family. So it's
sometimes.
pretty loaded, and it's it really was kind of a bit eye-opening for us how much apparently Filipinos really are looking for this kind of healthcare. So growing from that, it's really listening to the patients, asking them what they need and how we can improve it. So now we've grown from just testing and treatment to being proactive with sexual wellness. One of the other doctors in my clinic, who was my best friend in college and med school, Dr. Elva Sarte Oigonco, is OB, but her specialty in OB is OB aesthetics. So she helps a lot of women in terms of when they have, we call it flower arrangement. So if they're, if with their intimate areas, if they feel like it's too loose, they want to tighten it up because of multiple childbirths, or maybe like the shape or
Just helping them
yeah,
gain their
just-
confidence
Exactly,
back
the
as well.
confidence. So that's a big part of sexual health. It's not all just the diseases. I personally do it for the guys. So if you want a bit more length or girth or to last
Oh.
longer. So yeah, we really wanted to just create the space for everyone.
I
that's
actually
just
didn't even know
comfortable.
about the floral arrangement thing. That's so interesting. And I said, that does make sense.
Wait,
now
that
that
is
you talk
actually
about
part
it.
of your sexual experience as well.
Exactly.
To be
Yeah.
able to do certain things, you know, like to tighten it, like what you mentioned. But Doc Dino, I wanted to go back to your Hara Clinic as a co-founder because I would like to learn what is the biggest or main difference that you would have from a traditional clinic. Is it that because things can be openly discussed?
Yeah.
Or is it because there are certain treatments that are not easily found? Can you kindly like decipher one from each other?
I think it's both. So first of all, I feel like we were able to successfully hit a sweet spot where we were able to be unapologetic about what we do. We are a sexual wellness clinic. We are a gender health clinic. So people come in, they already know, okay, this is what it's for. We can talk about these embarrassing issues without having to be embarrassed, right? And next, it was also creating that space. So not just on the doctors, but every person you meet, from talking online, trying to book, to the receptionist, to the nurses, to the space itself, all really just foster this feeling of
That's
comfortability.
Yeah.
Because you may approach your doctor and you know your doctor's open to talk to you about it, but entering the clinic, talking to someone like secretary, that could already cause a lot of, you know, am I going to be judged? This might be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is
okay.
what most of my patients complain about prior to going. If they go to like a big major hospital, the way they say it is, receptionist pa lang or security guard pa lang, feeling ko na-judge na ako. And it's like 10 times more difficult for people who are non-gender conforming, like trans individuals, being misgendered, using wrong pronouns for them. So all of those things we're very careful and we're very mindful about it to create that space. Even our bathrooms are gender neutral. Even the paint or the color scheme, we chose green because we thought, hey, it's not blue, it's not pink, it's something that anybody can relate to. So
Right.
yeah, all of those little things do matter a lot. To
Right,
create
and no,
that.
it really does. Like the atmosphere, like you mentioned, from the get-go, when you walk in, you have to feel comfortable. But with this comes emotional health as well.
Yeah.
How do you guys address emotional health in the clinic? Or do you?
Oh, definitely. So like I said, before it was just the testing and the treatment,
Right.
and it really grew beyond that. Coming into a clinic with a sexual health concern or like an STI, it doesn't even have to be HIV. Sometimes it's herpes. Like I have a lot of women patients who are very emotional when they get herpes. So that really has to have some sort of like counseling or post-processing. We don't just give you the medicines and send you on your way. We ask you, okay, how does this make you feel? What are your worries about, for example, intimacy in the future, having kids? So before, we used to handle that at primary care level, but now we have psychiatrists. We have resident psych, Doc Neo, shout out to Doc Neo, who's able to handle these things as well and from a very non-judgmental perspective. I also got certified as a sexologist or a sex therapist under the Unprude organization, under Rika Cruz, who is like
Yes,
one.
Unprude.
Yeah, love Doc
Congratulations.
Rika. Oh, thank you. So all of those, it
Yeah.
has to be like everything that we can provide, we try to provide. We even have like an acupuncturist if people want to go through that
Wow,
method.
it's
in terms of-
holistic.
I love
Yeah.
it. Like, I
Definitely
really
holistic.
like how you guys target everything,
Yeah.
because it's really an everything
Yeah.
thing. But what have you been seeing, Doc, that's the most common issue here in the Philippines from your clients?
So it really depends. So we have a lot of screening. I think currently in the Philippines, our facility has the most comprehensive ability to screen for all the different STIs. So it's not just HIV, it's not just syphilis or chlamydia. We have like a panel that tests for 8 different STIs on like one sample. So we want to be able to give people like all of these things. But really, screening is pretty common. For the sexual dysfunctions, I get a lot of erectile dysfunction. For women, one of the main concerns is either low libido or pain during sex. The pain comes usually from dryness, because if they're not in the mood, if women are not in the mood, they're not going to be able to lubricate naturally enough. So it becomes painful. So all of those things we really do our best to be able to address in a very accepting and compassionate way. It's like super chill. Like when I talk to my patients, I talk to them like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I
Doc
love
Dino,
it.
you're definitely filling a gap and a much needed, what do you call this, education for us here in the Philippines. But also, you know, earlier on we saw Miss Universe, and a lot of those candidates, their platform includes HIV. So I want to talk about that because you mentioned, you were nice enough to share your story as well. What are the common misconceptions when it comes to HIV?
Oh wow, there are a lot. So for example, a lot of Filipinos are still under the impression that HIV is a death sentence. It's no longer a death sentence. We have reached the point where the technology of HIV treatment and management allows people to live long, fulfilling lives despite getting a diagnosis. Right now, we can't take the disease out of your body just yet, but the medicines are so effective that we just put the virus to sleep.
So it's manageable.
It's super manageable. So I have patients who are really like living thriving lives, thriving careers, love lives, all of those things. And the diagnosis or the status is just something there in the background. It's not their entire identity, and that's the goal. That's the goal for all PLHIV, to just live a life despite the diagnosis. It shouldn't be your entire, it shouldn't be the center of your entire life, right?
Right. I love
Beautifully
that.
said.
I know. I love chatting with you, Doc. Like you said, it's a very safe space. But we have you on our next gap as well. Hold that thought, Doc, because later we're going to dive into something more exciting, which is going to be peptides and how peptide therapy works and how it could benefit you. Don't go away. Doc Dino will be back. Stay on the Daily Dish with us.
This is my daily dish.
And hello, welcome back. We're still talking to Dr. Deano Reyes. And Chal, I know you have a few
Yes,
questions
I have
for
a
him.
burning question, and I
Yeah.
think it's very important because when you talk about sexual education here in the Philippines, we often shove aside sexual pleasure, which is very vital, not just for your married life, but for your personal health as well, mentally and physically. So is this something that you tackle as well as a profession and in your clinic? We're talking about pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so definitely. Like I mentioned earlier, we did do like sex therapy. So that's actually something that we can do either on an individual basis or as a couple. Talk about, hey, how can we help you reach orgasms? Or
Really?
if it's difficult for a couple to do that, there are ways to do it. There's the sex therapy, the counseling, but we also have actual medical interventions. So for men and women, we can actually inject either PRP or exosomes into the penis or directly into the G-spot. Some women, maybe because of aging or stress or other things, the G-spot isn't as sensitive anymore. So in the clinic, what we're able to do is we can get like exosomes or stem cells, put that straight into that spot and just help women out.
This is so
wow.
interesting
Yeah.
because some people might find it funny or giggle, but really it's a serious matter
Yeah.
because you're talking about a holistic way of living. Finding that big O and getting to your ultimate pleasure. That is a need actually in life as well. But you mentioned certain things like exosomes and all of these medical stuff. There's another thing that we have to tackle here because it's big talk
And
right
we
now.
see it all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Actually, it's all over TikTok, all over Instagram, everywhere. People are talking about GLP-1 peptides. There's like 3 different ones they talk about. So let's talk about peptides.
Okay.
What are peptides? What form are peptides? And what are they for?
Gotcha.
Dami, no? Loaded
medyo
question.
Kaya naman. And some people might find it weird. It's like, you're a sex doctor. Why are you talking about peptides? So I kind of have two specializations, and a lot of people discouraged me. They said, "Hey, Dino, you're already a pretty good sexual health doctor. Why are you entering this new field?" And I was like, I wanted to. I like to study. So I entered into regenerative medicine, and the niche that I found was peptide therapy. So let's answer the first question. What is peptides? Peptides are like these small chains of amino acids. They're the precursor, or like the few steps before proteins. And they're great because they're so small, and they are the chemical messengers between your cells. It's how your cells communicate with each other. So I have over 50 different peptides on my
that's
roster.
a lot.
Each one does a very specific thing. And basically, we use them to biohack your body to do what we want it to do.
So you're like a computer hacker engineer for the body.
Yeah, a little bit. So
What can it do? What can it make our body do?
So a very popular peptide right now are called the GLP-1 peptides. You've probably heard about them, like Ozempic, Mounjaro, all of those things. So that's a peptide therapy. The GLP-1s are a peptide that you can activate a lot of biochemical processes in your body involved with metabolism. Like, you know how people, some people just lose the weight very easily, some people don't. A lot of that is actually biochemical, like they're just born that way.
And I heard a lot of people with PCOS,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
use this.
Yeah. So the GLP-1s are revolutionary in terms of being able to put peptide therapy into mainstream, because that's where we discovered that, oh, okay, people are fine to inject themselves, like they don't have to go to like a clinic. But the GLP-1s really are game-changing in terms of weight loss. A lot of doctors have always been telling people to just go ahead, lose the weight, but it's hard, right? The cravings and all of those things. So the
true.
Yeah. So the GLP-1s help with that. They don't just help with your they help with the appetite, but also with how your body processes the visceral fat and all of those things. You mentioned PCOS. PCOS is like a vicious cycle of an imbalance in hormones that causes insulin resistance, that also causes more imbalance in your hormones.
It's
so
difficult.
so the GLP-1s are able to like chop out that one section of that vicious cycle to make it stop. That's why it's very effective.
But when you take peptides though, Doc, because it sounds like this is kind of like a manageable disease and you have to keep doing it. How long do you normally take peptides? Do you recommend? Because you said it's like a biohack for the body, right? So how I guess, what's the process?
It's very different per peptide. So usually when patients come to me in the clinic, I ask them, hey, what aspects of your life were you hoping to improve? And then they tell me about their sleep, their muscle building, their weight loss,
So
their
it's
mood.
not just weight
It's
loss.
not just weight loss. Yeah. So in peptide doctor, in the peptide doctor sphere, we always say there's always a peptide for something. So after hearing that experience of my patient, I come up with a program in my head, and then I present it to them. Here are the things, here are the peptides that I feel would help you. And it's different really per peptides. So for example, the GLP-1s or the weight loss peptides, you can stay on those like for forever. So far, what we've been able to see, like a very long time, no problem. But there are other peptides like BPC-157 or GHKCU for the skin, for healing. I usually put them on like 3 to 4 month programs. So it's really, it does have like a lot of, it requires a lot of back knowledge from the doctor to be able to like guide you and give you these programs. You also can't stay on peptides forever, on some of these peptides, because there's this occurrence that we call receptor fatigue, that when you use peptides too much, certain peptides too much, the receptors in your body will grow deaf, so they'll stop working. So you gotta take breaks in between.
Okay. But when you say forever, my first thing that came to mind was, one, that's a bit expensive, so let's talk about the cost. And two, what are the possible side effects of these peptides, if there are some?
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of the expense, peptides are still very new. They're on the leading edge of science, so there's not a lot of like financial support to be able to like get them for free or subsidized. So it's kind of a luxury for now. Hopefully in the future we'll make it more accessible. But when I have, like, for example, the weight loss peptides, I usually have patients who, when we reach the weight loss goals, I'll ask, do you want to stop? If they say yes, then we titrate backwards. If some of them say, like, can I have it like as a support, like a crutch, then we go on the lowest micro dose. And then sometimes we can even, they'll stop and then they'll come back later on when they're having problems again. The other peptides, on the other hand, are regenerative in nature, meaning you have a problem, we've fixed it. So it's up to you, due to your own lifestyle or your own wear and tear, if you break it again. So then we'll come in and fix it again, right? Safety-wise, that's the other beauty of the peptide. So there's a lot of research looking at how safe they are. The biggest concern always is cancer. It doesn't cause cancer, but if you have existing cancer in your body, it might aggravate it because it heals it. The peptides cannot distinguish whether it's healing your body or healing the cancer, right? So cancer screening is usually important, even just asking the patients your history. But other than that, peptides are so they're pretty safe because when you use them, you'll break them back down into amino acids that your body will just recycle.
Okay, Doc Deano, if I could really be honest, I'm intently listening to you because I've been hearing about this. I hear about peptides, and all I know is I probably needed to for weight loss, but nothing, I really had no background of it until I've been hearing it from you here. And I'm sure a lot of people watching this have the same thoughts, na puro weight loss lang. But no, you can actually use it for energy as well, your skin, so many other things.
Skin, muscle building, if you're chronic fatigue, for energy, for mitochondrial support. We have anti-cancer peptides, inflammatory control peptides. There's really peptide for anything.
And anyone can take peptides, or there's a certain test they have to go through before taking peptides?
Cancer markers are always
Just
useful,
that.
but all of the times it's a conversation between me and you. And
Okay, so no blood work or anything?
Depends on which one, but there are so many.
I'll add to that. What about the dosage? This is how curious and, clueless I am. Is it something that you inject, you take in, or it differs from each peptide?
So most peptides are actually administered via subcutaneous injection. So that's just on the taba. So it's not not super deep. It's a tiny, tiny needle. It's the same needle that you use for the Ozempic or for insulin shot.
Okay.
So a lot of people might be intimidated, but really after your first shot, you'll be like, ay, kayang-kaya ko pala yan, no?
Okay.
So most of peptides are administered that way. But there are some peptides that we can give orally. So we have KPV and BPC-157, which are healing regenerative peptides that are in capsule form. That works. There are some peptides, for example, there are the mood peptides for anxiety or if you need concentration, C-Max and C-Lank, which are administered via nasal spray. So right now, there are ways to be able to do them not through injections. The goal is to advance the science enough to not need the injections, but right now, most of my patients, the results that they get are more than enough to tiis that little shot that you get.
Speaking of his patients, if you go on his Instagram page, Denise Laurel is actually one of his patients. So she's taking peptides as well, right? She's like a spokesperson?
Denise and I got really, really close. She went to me, referred to by our joint cousin way back when. She was just about to go back into show business, and then she needed help to get that glow again, to lose those pounds because she was on break. So love Denise. Been taking care of Denise for about 2 years now.
I love that and I love that you have all these proof of concept and stories also with you. I will be there, Doc Deano. I'm gonna be one of those people running to you. I
use it myself. So everything that I give to my patients, I test run it on myself first.
Awesome. Doc Deano, I feel sad that that's all the time we have to talk about this. I'm sure we're gonna be talking about this more as these topics about regenerative health continues to grow and enhance as well.
But before we let you go, Doc, for viewers who are interested, where can they contact you?
Oh, okay. So for sexual health, my clinic is Hara Clinic. You can find us on haraclinic.ph. It's on Facebook, Google, IG. I have my personal, a little bit more spicy account on X where I'm a little bit...
Oh yeah, we know it's spicy.
Sex.Deano on X if you want to check that out. And then for peptide therapy, you can go to Hara, or you can also find us on Synergy. So that's SEENERGIE. Yeah, we provide peptides. We're happy to deliver peptides to your doorstep. We can do everything online for your convenience. So
I love it. And if you all didn't know, Doc Deano was also a GQ model. His pictures all online. That's like he's said spicy. I'm like, yeah, he's super spicy. Thank you
Thank
to the
you so
spiciest
much,
Dr.
Doc
Deano Reyes.
Of course, we've got more stories for you from around the world to the latest in sports and entertainment. Don't go away. The Daily Dish will be right back.
This is my daily dish. Daily dish. My daily dish.
And we're back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Ukraine says it is beginning formal work with the United States on a draft plan to end the war with Russia. President Volodymyr Zelensky announced the move after meeting U.S. Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll in Kyiv, saying both sides are ready for constructive and honest talks. He expects to discuss the proposal soon with President Donald Trump. Reports say the U.S.-backed draft includes major concessions to Moscow, including giving up the Donbas region, recognizing Crimea and parts of eastern Ukraine as de facto Russian. European allies are pushing back, warning that peace must not amount to surrender. In Paris, the Greva Museum unveils a long-awaited wax figure of Princess Diana, nearly 30 years after her death halted the original plan. The project was first set in motion in 1996 and even included arrangements to meet Diana in person. However, the beloved princess died in a car crash in Paris in 1997. The museum says public demand finally brought the idea back, calling it obvious to honor the Princess of Wales, who's known worldwide for her humanitarian work. The wax figure shows Diana in her famous black cocktail dress, worn on the night that then Prince Charles publicly admitted to infidelity. A Frida Kahlo painting has broken records, selling for $54.7 million at a Sotheby's auction. The 1940 work, El Sueño, is now the most expensive artwork by a female artist ever sold. Sotheby's describes the self-portrait as one of Kahlo's most emotionally powerful pieces. It shows her asleep in a wooden bed, while the flower-crowned skeleton wrapped in dynamite hovers above her. The painting last sold in 1980 for just $51,000. That's more than a 1,000-fold increase to its new auction price.
Back-to-back wins for the Orlando Magic in the NBA. The Magic cruised past the LA Clippers 129-101 for their second straight win. Jalen Suggs was automatic with 23 points, while Franz Wagner added 20. Orlando is in ninth in the Eastern Conference with 9 wins and 7 losses.
Chadwick Boseman forever. The Black Panther star is the latest addition to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Boseman's posthumous star was unveiled Thursday on Hollywood Boulevard. His widow Simone and his family accepted the accolade on his behalf. Viola Davis and director Ryan Coogler led the tributes, joined by Black Panther cast members Michael B. Jordan and Letitia Wright. Boseman, who rose to global stardom as King T'Challa in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, died in 2020 after a private battle with stage 3 colon cancer. A year-end auction lets fans get up close with priceless memorabilia in film and television. This year's Hollywood's Legends collection features nearly 1,500 pieces spanning close to 10 decades of pop culture history. It features pieces from the golden age of Hollywood through the present day. The centerpiece is a collection of priceless jewels worn by the likes of Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe. The auction is a 4-day event which runs from December 9 to 12 in Gardena, California. Up next, nutrition specialist Kim King will join us to talk about health and wellness. The Daily Dish will be right back.
This is my daily dish. Daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
And hello, welcome back. You're still with us at the Daily Dish, and we are still talking about weight loss, wellness. It's a Wellness Friday. I'm excited because, you know, the holidays are coming, and we are all trying to get that rockin' body.
Our next guest may just help you achieve your fitness goals. If you need further proof, among her clients include Ann Curtis, Heart Evangelista, and Kim King now joins us in the studio. Welcome, Kim!
Thank you for having me. They forgot to put us in the intro.
Yeah, soon to be us.
Heart, Monique, and Chal.
No Chal.
Kulang.
Kulang. But you know, Kim, first of all, we're really grateful to have you. It's a beautiful way to continue our conversation about health from earlier on. And we want to talk about your journey. How did you get into this? What is your story? Because I've gotten to interview you already before, and it's really quite interesting what got you into this journey.
Ang dami niyan. But the gist of it was, I grew up where my dad is really into fasting. So I already learned some hacks to basically optimize your health naturally, holistically, and right, the term now is functional. But then my mom had, when my parents separated back in 2006, my mom had cancer. And then I also had a cyst on my left breast. But I think the bigger thing there was I was able to apply what I learned. And even if I have a degree in nutrition, the approach is actually the opposite.
What do
So
you
when
mean
you
by
say
that?
it's the opposite, yeah, expound, please.
I'm not a doctor, just to give like disclaimer, right?
Yeah.
But what I've learned in school is the opposite of what actually we teach, like in Kim King's Wellness. So one is there's no fine blueprint protocol for the general population. You really have to create the nutrition based on the baseline of the client.
So customized.
Customized talaga, because we all have different stressors. We have different ways of managing stress. We all sleep. We don't have the same sleep hygiene.
Right. If we even sleep,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
What's that?
and then if you're active, meaning you have sports or like your type of work is basically a sedentary lang, whole day nakaupo ka lang. So we really curate, and then you're sick. So yun pa. So we really customized the plan according to the blueprint of each individual.
Yeah, I love that because, like you said, everybody's bodies are different.
Yeah, it's like your fingerprint. So it's
So that's why
really,
you say
yeah,
blueprint.
yeah.
But I'm actually curious, and I'm sure our viewers are as well. Let's debunk wellness myths because we always hear holistic, right? Functionality,
traditional, all
There's
of these
lots
terms.
of different ones. So when people think of holistic, what are the most
common?
Yeah, common ones. Let's debunk them right now.
Most common is fat is bad. It was generalized. It's a generalized, and parang it's the villain of basically for everyone. Na
So
parang
it's
bad.
not?
There are good, there are
Yeah,
good,
you need good fat, yeah,
fat. And then I think another one, a very common, would be everything in moderation. Because if someone is already sick and the environment of that person internally is already damaged, you cannot apply the concept na you can eat everything in moderation because damaged na yung entire system. So if this is like a fresh body, not exposed to a lot of stress or illnesses, and this person sleeps 8 hours a day, example, then we can have a bit of leeway to tweak and make it in moderation approach. But a lot of people are already metabolically wrecked even before they reach the stage where they're already sick. So there's really an abstinence, or like you have to really pause on some other stuff in order to clear up or cleanse the body.
Very interesting, Kim. So I just want to let our viewers know that when we use the word diet here, it's not just about
Yeah,
it's not really about losing weight loss.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Diet is
general.
actually,
It's nutrition.
yes. When we
And
say
it's
diet, it's what
holistic.
you put in or what you take
Yes,
into your body.
yes.
Oh, and
So-
it's also the environment. It's not just
Yep.
what we put in.
Yep.
Like she
Yeah.
kept
Yes.
mentioning kasi
Yes.
like the environment.
Your
the
environment, and when I
stressors.
say environment, these are the people you surround yourself with, your mindset, because quantum physics, whatever you think, it becomes manifest. It's the manifestation, you manifest it. So there's that also.
Okay, so you actually got into doing your kitchen, your kids'
Yes.
kitchen. We want to talk about that because from living a life of being exposed because of your dad and
Yeah.
finding certain needs and having questions with what you learn in school, bring it back to
different.
life, to creating this one so that other people can actually experience and have the same knowledge. Can you talk about how you got into it?
Kim King Wellness, which started as Kim King's Kitchen, is actually not my first health brand. I had Sexy Juicer before, and then kasi I really want people to help people feel their best, because I know how it feels to fuel your system and reset the system and how it can magnify the strengths that you have already. So that, and then when I started posting online, people would ask, so I have 5 kids.
Oh,
I have
what?
twins.
You look
so I have,
amazing.
So my eldest is 8 and my youngest is 11 months old. So I have 5, and people would always ask, how do you get back in shape in less than a week
Yes.
after giving birth?
Yes, please.
So first, so I shared what I do. I showed, because I cannot fast while I was breastfeeding. So what did I incorporate? I incorporated broth, and I grew up liking soup talaga. And if you remember when you were younger, pag may sakit, di ba, magsabaw ka.
It's always soup.
Yeah, because it's really healing, and there's science in it. And we've already parang always approach everything with medication, and there are like holistic way to still nourish the body and still be in shape even if you're a mom. So actually it started because I understand now how it is so challenging for a new mom who just gave birth. Of course, you don't feel your best because kakapanganak mo lang.
Right.
And I didn't even gain so much weight because nga, I'm already cautious with what I put in my body and what I eat. But imagine someone who doesn't know what to do and new ka, and then puyat ka, you're breastfeeding, parang it's all giving out. So in my head, how can I make women who's like me, new mom, to get in shape healthily without suppressing the breast milk production? So I experimented. Sabi ko, okay, since I'm used to doing water fast, but I can't do that because I was breastfeeding.
Right.
Kailangan yung nutrients
Yeah.
for diba, to produce quality milk. You need healthy fat. And then I said, okay, I'm not gonna snack on any junk. I will create my own meal. I will create my own way. And then I started taking broth. Instead of eating chips or what, I would drink broth. And because it's nutrient dense, it's amazing how there's no junk food craving, because when you're puyat, especially for new moms, even general population, pag puyat kayo, the craving is higher.
Right.
Because the body is on a fight mode.
I'm always hungry at midnight.
That is why it's so difficult for new moms also to take care of themselves, kasi puyat sila lagi. So in my head, I want to impart, I want to share what I did because it can be done.
Okay, let's
I
talk about
love
that,
it.
that bone broth.
Yeah, I
as
want to
well.
zero in on that because actually, I know about you because I wanted to do the bone broth diet, but takot ako na magutom. So I said, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. So
Yeah.
let's talk, now that I'm with you.
I'd mix it with my rice pa.
Actually,
Well,
my rice pa.
it's still good, even if you mix it with other food as a base, because of the nutrients and amino acid that you can get from broth.
Okay, so why did you zero in? You said that you found something nurturing for moms, but
Because I've seen how my skin, it was glowing, I don't have appetite for any junk, which is unusual for someone who's puyat.
But what is
Because
it about bone broth?
It's the amino acid, it's the
Okay.
glycine, it's the sodium, it's the good type of sodium that you'll get, the minerals, the calcium. So there's so much nutrients that you'll get from it. And it's in a liquid form.
Right.
Easy for digestion. So if you don't feel like digesting anything and you just want to heal the gut lining also, you can take it.
So you
in
suggest
conjunction, of
doing-
course, with a healthy diet.
Right.
So people would always ask, pwede ba ganito yung kain ko, mag-broth ako? Yes, it's beneficial, for sure. But for you to really see 80 to 90% improvement, then you have to lock in your nutrition.
Yeah, because I see, like, for example, Heart Evangelista, she does the bone broth. She always has to reset her body.
Because she likes to try different food, and she's used to doing OMAD already because I taught her how to do it. But every time that she comes back, for example, from abroad, and nag-croissant yan or what, she will automatically do a reset.
Oh, wow. Does Anne do the same thing?
Iba-iba yung approach.
Different
So,
then.
depende kung ano yung goal. Let's say it's a shoot, it's a concert. And then I would always encourage, especially for women, to eat enough protein while you do the process. Even if, kasi there's like pure broth fast and there's like fasting mimicking approach, where you take broth, and there's a reset 1 day, 3 days, and then there's 7 days. And then I curated. We have options also. We give people options. Ano yung doable for you? For example, you're working. You can't do all liquid fast kasi, diba, yung baka hindi kayanin, diba?
Right.
And you're not used to it pa. So for people that are used to doing intermittent fasting, CCO, very easy. But for most people that are exposed to high stress environment, it can be a bit of a challenge.
Okay, Kim, you're Asia's first organic bone broth queen, and of course also a certified gut health coach, correct?
Yes.
And we've been putting all of these terms here, like I heard fasting, I heard OMAD, 1 meal a day. Can we also touch on that so that we actually know the right way to do it? Because it may seem like a fad or a term that's really hot, you know, for these past few months or even years.
Yes.
But there is a right way to do it.
Yes, I think most importantly, because if you're gonna discuss all of it, ang dami, hindi kaya isang
And you
oras.
and you fast a lot. Actually,
Yes.
you're pretty much known for also fasting,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You and your husband.
Yes. Yeah, lalo na my husband. So, to answer your question, so for the approach of intermittent fasting, more than anything else, I think what's so important is the foundation of what you eat prior, leading to the fast, and how you break it. So the basic is 12 hours for beginners, which we actually unknowingly doing already most of the time. If your last meal is at 6 and your next meal is at 7 a.m., that's already a 12-hour fast. So I would recommend that for the beginner. Of course, if you have any underlying health condition, you have to consult your doctors first and see what can work for you. And there's also a type of short fast where you eat breakfast kasi women are very sensitive with nutrition because of our cycle. So some people, when they do an extended fast, they would lose their period. So there's also other side of it that is not good if you don't know how to do it. That's why for us, we curate. We get to know the client. We get to know what their overall goal is. And then we align everything, even the sleep.
Yeah.
I think that's our unique also way of doing it. Kasi if you're fasting, hindi pwedeng puyat ka.
Right.
Diba stress na yung katawan? Because this approach, fasting is like a free radical. So you produce you boost your immune system when you fast because the body thinks there's a scarcity. So it has to defend itself. But it can be a bad thing if you don't do it right.
So we're so interested here. We're like, oh my gosh, I want to learn more. Go ahead,
I want to
Mo.
know, because you mentioned earlier when you fast, most people put the wrong things in their body. So for our viewers out there who are watching, what is the best, I guess, most generalized way you can put it? What's the first thing we should always eat?
I would recommend a balanced meal, whole food. So meaning no process, should not be ever like cake or dessert.
I got targeted.
Because imagine your organs just cleanse itself, and then all of a sudden may spike of sugar coming in.
Not me having a
Mag-overwork
cupcake
yung
for
katawan.
breakfast.
And it's actually very dangerous. So a whole meal, clean meal with good fat, protein, probiotics, fermented food to prime your gut. Because the broth alone, if you do a broth fast, it kind of heals and seals the gut. So now, if you have like autoimmune and all of that, it can be improved through the approach of the broth diet. And then you can incorporate the probiotics, which actually primes and makes your microbiome more balanced.
So we all should take probiotics.
Yeah, but ano rin, like ang dami rin kasing probiotics.
There's a lot.
No, and most of it has maltodextrin, which is worse than sugar.
Really?
Yeah.
Maltodextrin.
Yeah.
Even in my kimchi?
Wala na
This is
yan.
a
Siguro naman
probiotic.
hindi na nila dadagdag. Like yung mga instant drink or chewable stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Usually they have.
So
It's one of
watch out
the,
for that.
so it's something. And then I wear my CGM. So every time.
What is that?
This is
Okay,
a
let's show
continuous.
it.
So this is a continuous glucose monitor. So when I do my R&D, before we launch our products, I test it myself before. And then, okay, this is keto friendly, this is low carb, this is pasok low carb. Kasi it can still have a bit of carbs, but it's the balance of the protein ratio and fat ratio that makes it, basically that stabilizes the blood glucose.
Kim, how does this work?
Interesting.
I, for example, want to lose my last 10 or 15 pounds, and then I come to you, Kim. Would you come up with a diet plan? Would you suggest how, or do we do tests first?
Yeah,
How
so
does it work?
usually, so I would do a consultation online. It's a one-on-one consultation,
Okay.
15 minutes, sometimes to 30 minutes, and then I would ask the person to walk me through her day. I can already assess what is doable and not doable, and then if she has a history of any underlying health condition, I would coordinate with the doctors sometimes, so we can kind of work together, targeting the real goal for this client. So it's monitored not just by me, but also her physician. And then I every week so it's a 1-month program, and then I'll ask, okay, how do you feel this week? And then is it doable for you? Because at the end of the day, you have to be in a nutrition plan that is sustainable to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So the goal is something that you can maintain and sustain, because I can make you lose weight in 3 days. And
Oh, really?
I'll tell you, and I'll,
Done.
no,
Sold.
and I'll tell you, okay, and I'll tell you, just do water fast, broth fast.
Yeah, but then it's gonna rebound.
Exactly,
That's the thing.
exactly.
How do
So-
you make it, maintain it actually?
That's what the key word,
rebound,
sustainability.
Yeah,
You have
so
to find the right
I get to
flow.
know the client, and then once they also send me their metrics, for example, and then the baseline of the health. Because sometimes you have to see the full picture. Let's say I'm 50 kg and I have 30% body fat. Then the approach is different. Versus someone, I'm 52 kg, I only have 15% body fat. So, and then the goal is to gain muscle mass. So iba-iba talaga.
It's really different per
So we
customer.
curate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
what
love
we
that.
do.
That's what
We cannot really copy paste. Like we see so much nutrition advice online, and most of them are not applicable to us.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that we really have to be aware of. Like, not everything should be applied to you because you have a different lifestyle.
Exactly, just
or
because it
let's
works
say, for
for
example,
someone.
if you're planning to conceive, you cannot do a long fast.
Oh yeah.
Because women's body, healthy body fat for conceiving is 18 to 22%. So, if you lose weight and bumaba yung body fat mo sobra, hindi tayo makaka-achieve ng goal.
Mo and I are looking at each other like we have more questions. I'm gonna just throw in one more. And I think, as funny as this may sound, it's real. What about the hunger? Because oftentimes when people get into these programs, yes, sustainability is a huge factor, but also when you're doing it, the fear for hunger is real.
The fear. But this is my question.
My number one fear in life is I don't want to be hungry.
Wait. But let me ask you, when was the last time that you truly feel hungry?
Now.
Like hungry, like
I'm so
you're
hungry.
dying, like
Yeah, so there's a difference,
There's
no?
a
From
difference.
hunger from here that you really
Yes,
feel
and
it,
here.
and here.
Yes.
It's always here.
Yeah.
I can't
So
tell the
this one,
difference. I'm
do
just
you also
hungry.
tackle this?
Yes, I discussed.
mindset?
Kasi a lot of, especially for women, they have ED.
What is that?
Eating disorder. So you really have to get to the psyche of it. Like, okay, you can see the pattern. This person has been yo-yoing. It's a sign of ED already.
Right.
Then we approach it differently. Like, they have to really be clear. What more than losing weight, what I'm advocate and I'm a fan of is sustainability, what I've mentioned earlier, and feeling your best self overall, not just your weight. Because you can be the skinniest and the slimmest person on earth, but if you drag your energy every day, then it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So vitality overall is what's really important.
I love what you're doing. I feel like we just had our own consult, no? Like, this wasn't really an interview, it was more
Not
of
fully
a consultation.
customized, but we're learning.
But before we let you go, Kim, what is, I guess, for viewers
I
watching?
want to answer kanina yung I know, you mentioned about the holiday season.
Yeah.
So we're doing
Go.
Yeah, we're doing a detox plan for pre-holiday season. I'm gonna post it on my page so
I
to
can't
teach
wait.
people how to do it.
Where can they find your page?
It's Broth Queen on Instagram.
Yay! And what is your #1 tip right now to get fit for the holidays?
And
apart
for the
from
new
detox?
year, too.
Yeah, always start with your protein first and complex or vegetables. So you stabilize your blood glucose. And then after that, you can have dessert if you want.
Perfect. Now I know what I'm going to order for lunch. I'm going to order steak and vegetables. Well, thank you so much, Kim King.
Thank you for having
We're going
me.
to chat with you
Thank
after
you.
again
Thank
because we're going to have
you.
a consultation 101.
Thank you.
That was the broth queen, Kim King herself. We have more stories for you after the break. The Daily Dish will be right back.
This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish.
And we're back. I learned so much from today's guests. And next week on The Daily Dish, we'll speak with the president and CEO of the Wildflower Group, Ana Lorenzana de Ocampo, and the editor-in-chief of Metro Edit, Gretchen Fragada. Catch that live at noon, only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
What a fun show. I'm
know,
ready to
right?
get my health in check now. I'm so inspired.
Pre-holiday detox.
I know, that's what we need.
And
Right.
for you to know how many more days before you get healthy for
Exactly.
Christmas.
You have time.
And New Year, how many days?
34 days until Christmas. All right, that's it for us today, Friday, November 21st. Join us again on Monday for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With zero filter, I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
I'm Chal Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez. That's a Daily Dish served. Have a great weekend, guys.
Congratulations, Atisa.